Hi, welcome to the Billing Groups and Pilot Funding video. This is part of the Biodata Catalyst powered by Seven Bridges onboarding lesson. Before we get started, let's talk about our objectives. We want to review three key concepts. The first is that cloud costs are accrued through running analysis and through the storage of new non-hosted datasets. Costs are captured on the platform automatically via what we call billing groups. Also, it is important to understand that the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute of the NIH has cloud credits available for you to work exploring and testing how your analysis work will proceed in the cloud. At the end of this video, you will be able to request pilot funding from NHLBI, track your cloud credit spending at a granular level, manage membership of your billing group as an admin, and lastly, change the billing group associated with the project. As I just mentioned, cloud credits are spent on either storage or computation time. Let's talk about cloud storage costs. Storage costs are primarily incurred when users upload data to the platform or generate what is called derived data files as a result of an analysis. Uploading data is also called bringing your own data, or BYOD. This is sometimes necessary when the files you need are not hosted by NHLBI. Users do not incur storage costs for hosted data, such as the TopMed data in the Seven Bridges data browser, or data accessible via the Gen 3 service. Derived data simply means the files that were created either by running a task or through using any of the Data Studio environments. By the way, Data Studio on Seven Bridges enables you to run private instances of Jupyter Lab, RStudio, and SAS Studio inside your projects. Please follow this link to our Knowledge Center, also posted in the video description, to learn more about billing groups. Now that we have covered storage costs, let's talk about the second way of using cloud credits, and that is through computation. On Seven Bridges, there's a lot of flexibility in the computation environments you can choose to suit your needs. You can run analysis on AWS or Google, and within both of those cloud providers, you can choose from many different instance types. The pass-through cost of these instances are based on how many CPUs and how much memory the cloud instance provides. The cost will be a factor of the amount of time the cloud instance runs. This applies to both tasks and to Data Studio notebooks. Refer to these helpful links for current AWS pricing. Likewise, Google provides similar information online. For the demonstration, we will change a project's billing group, explore the cloud credit tracking capabilities of the payments page, add a member to our invoice billing group, and lastly, review how to request pilot funds from NHLBI. The next screen you will see is the platform dashboard, as I am already logged in to Seven Bridges. As you can see, I'm already logged on to the dashboard. I want to show you how to find the payments page. The payments page is simply where you could manage your different billing groups and track your costs at a very granular level. So over on the right side, you'll see my username is Dave. And to get to the billing group, the payment page, I just click the drop down here and I click on payments. This will bring up all the billing groups that I'm a member of. And you can see that I'm a member of several billing groups with different purposes. I want to show you what a pilots fund billing group. So when you log on, when you make an account, you'll automatically get a pilots funds billing group, which will be named something similar to this. It'll basically say pilot funds and then your username. You'll see a current usage, which is your cumulative charges right here. And then you'll see the analysis, the credits being broken down into analysis usage, which includes running tasks, running Data Studio, or using it Annotation Explorer. And then you'll have storage usage on the right side. So remember, this is cumulative forever how long you've had the pilot fund billing group. A pilot funds billing group is your own personal billing group. So no one else will be essentially able to be part of this billing group and spend your funds. You can see more, spend more details by clicking the spending details, which will show you all the different projects you've created and how much you've used in each project. And also you can expand this further and see each individual instance of Data Studio or every task that you ran. So let's talk about a non-pilot funds billing group. So if I go back to the payments page, you get one pilot funds billing group, which is where your pilot funds will be added to. But I'm also in other billing groups. Like for instance, we have a trainings and demos billing group, which looks like this. And remember, this is cumulative. So over time, we've spent this amount of credits doing all our trainings and all of our demonstrations. And you'll see it broken down into analysis and storage. The main difference between pilot funds and non-pilot fund billing group is that you can add group members. So if you're an admin on a billing group, let's say your lab PI made a billing group and they added you and they made you an admin, you can see that I have the ability to see some of the other users in this project. So in this case, Allison Leaf is acting as a lab PI in this case. She's the owner of the billing group, but she added me as a co-admin. That means that I can add other users from Seven Bridges or from my lab group, and then I can give them either admin status or have them not be an admin, but still be able to use the billing group. And what does this mean to be part of a billing group? It means that you can create a project and charge and set the billing group of that project and therefore accrue charges either via storage or from running analysis tasks. The next thing we're going to go over is how to request pilot credits to use in your onboarding and in your platform testing. So we're back out here in the main web page for Biodata Catalyst. Remember, the URL is biodatacatalyst.nhlbi.nih.gov. And if we click on resources, the drop-down menu will give us an option for cloud credits, as I'm showing here. Once we click on that, it'll describe what we've already talked about in this video about how cloud costs are spent, but it also goes into pilot funding, and it lets you know that you have the ability to get up to $500 in cloud credits to use for your pilot testing. To do that, scroll to the bottom and start to fill in the cloud credit request form. And a lot of this is very self-explanatory. Important is please indicate if your research is related to heart, lung, blood, or sleep disorders, and also indicate that you're requesting the $500 in initial pilot cloud credits. So that lets you finish your onboarding, you can do the lesson exercises, and you can start to benchmark some of your analysis. After you hit submit, and when your request is approved, your pilot billing group will automatically be populated with $500 in cloud credits. Another note, you can actually use this form to request additional credits. You have to provide some more justification in more detail. And there's a tutorial that you can follow on the Knowledge Center about how to do benchmarking, as well as we've had community hour sessions on that as well. This concludes the video on billing groups and pilot funding. Some key takeaways for you is that, first of all, the NHLBI will provide pilot fundings for you to use the Seven Bridges platform. They will award it after you fill out the request form on the main Biodata Catalyst website. Cloud costs are accrued through analysis tasks, but also through storage of new derived data. This means non-hosted data. Billing groups will help you track your cloud costs and share funds with any of the any collaborators that you add. So you can add collaborators to billing groups the same way as you could add collaborators to projects. If you run out of pilot funds, Seven Bridges can set up a new billing group for you. It can be attached to invoice or a credit card. Please reach out to support if that is the case. If you are following the full onboarding lesson module list, the next video is the last one, and it's called Onboarding Lesson Exercises, where you can test out what you've learned and take some actions on the platform. Thank you.